This is something that I never thought I'd speak about publicly. But before I started practicing Islam, I was deep into rap and hip hop. I don't mean just as a casual listener, but I was literally obsessed with it. From the way that an artist could literally bend language to make you think and feel particular emotions. I was literally hooked. But then when I started practicing the deen and learnt more about my religion, I then came to the conclusion that this was something I had to leave behind. And like in the hadith where the Prophet ﷺ said, "Man taraka shay'an liwajhi Allahi ha'awadahu Allahu khayran minhu." Whoever leaves something for the sake of Allah, Allah will replace it with something better. And for me, that replacement completely changed my life in ways that I could never have anticipated. That thing for me was the Arabic language. Now, to clarify my position, I'm not glorifying or defending music. It's clearly haram. But in this video, I'm just trying to show you how I was able to leave and let go of something that was clearly sinful to doing something that pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that perhaps someone who's out there struggling could watch this video and do the same. Now, like many Muslims growing up in the West, Islam was part of my identity, but wasn't necessarily at the center of my life. I wasn't raised in a household where knowledge was studied every day, where Arabic was being spoken, or where I was even encouraged to think about the meanings of the Quran. I was just a regular kid navigating the world around me like everyone else. And one of the things that captivated my attention from a very young age was music. Now, looking back, I don't think it was music itself that attracted me. What really fascinated me was the language. I was obsessed with words, the way that people could communicate ideas, the way that a carefully crafted sentence could make you think differently and make you think 1,000 emotions. Rap just happened to be the outlet where I saw that most clearly. I spent countless hours listening to tracks, rewinding certain verses, analyzing lines, catching double meanings, because I appreciated clever wordplay. Sometimes I'd hear a line for the 10th time and suddenly I'd realize there was another layer that I completely missed. That's what fascinated me. I wasn't just listening to music, I was literally studying constantly. Now, the same fascination for language extended beyond music. I had a strong love for poetry. I enjoyed analyzing literature and language. I enjoyed breaking down and understanding how words were being used to manipulate meaning and affect emotions and imagination. And without realizing, I had developed a deep appreciation for communication, expression, and the power of language itself. And what I didn't know at the time was that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was preparing me for something far greater. Because years later, when I started taking my religion seriously and started learning the Arabic language, I discovered a world that made everything I had admired in language before seem small in comparison. Now, as I mentioned before, I started taking Islam seriously, and of course, I came to the conclusion that music was something that I had to leave behind. And honestly, in the beginning, that wasn't easy, because what I loved wasn't just beats or entertainment. I loved analyzing lyrics and uncovering layers of meaning. So you can only imagine when music was gone, that fascination, that void was still there. And it didn't have anywhere to go until I discovered Arabic. So that same linguistic curiosity that had me analyzing lyrics could now be directed to analyzing the Quran. And literally every word mattered. Every sentence carried meaning. Every choice of vocabulary had wisdom behind it. And for the first time, language wasn't just this instrument that was used for entertainment or enhancing my intellectual capacity. This time, language was something that was transformative. And something that I want to say is that when you leave something for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, initially you may be asking yourself, what is he going to replace it with? Especially if you know this narration. But I will say for myself, one of my replacements was Islamic poetry and just Arabic poetry in general. When I was 19 years old, I want to share with you guys a poem that I used to listen to constantly, even though I never quite understood the meanings. But the more I advanced, the more I evolved when it came to the Arabic language, and I would go back to that poem, I started to realize the depth and the unique distinction of the Arabic language in comparison to any other language. Because like I said before it was just rap lyrics, it was analyzing verses and double meanings and catching clever wordplay and just delving into Shakespearean soliloquies and plays and etc. But this time, through the Arabic lens, I was able to receive something that I hadn't quite seen before and captured in anything that I had listened to, whether it be the music or even Shakespeare or any of the Western poets whose poetry I enjoyed analyzing. Let me show you what I mean. So what you're looking at right now is a poem, one of the first poems that I listened to when I first started my Arabic learning journey. Of course, I told you in one of my videos I had 3 ustads. Right, my first one being Egyptian, my last one as well was Sheikh Muhammad Tantawi, and he was the one that put me onto Arabic poetry. At the time, you know, I had this, still had this fascination for language and, you know, just being able to dissect words and poems and etc. So obviously he kept raving on about Arabic poems. And being the curious young man that I was, when I went back home, I started looking up online and I came across this poem. Now, this young girl, she's reciting words of a famous Palestinian poet who goes by the name of Harun al-Rashid. And he used to write a lot about Palestinian reform, resistance, and the Palestinian identity, right? And solidarity. So he's a man that's celebrated and his works get recited a lot. But what you're about to notice when you obviously listen to it yourself, you're going to realize how mesmerizing, and captivating this young girl is, considering how young she is, her emotional intelligence, obviously the depth behind the words in the poem, but it's reflected in her emotions, right? But yeah, let's listen.
فلسطيني أنا اسمي فلسطيني نقشت اسمي على كل الميادين بخط بارز يبمو على كل العناوين حروف اسمي حروف اسمي حروف اسمي تلاحقني تعايشني تغذيني تبث النار في روحي وتنبض في شراييني.
I'll stop there because, it's a pretty long video. But yeah, to give you context of what she's saying, basically she's saying, Filistini, ana ismi Filistini. I am Palestinian, my name is Palestinian. And then she goes on to say, Naqash ismi ala kulli al-mayadini. I carved or I engraved my name upon every domain, mayadini, from Maidan, right? And then she goes on to say, بِخَطٍ بَارِزٍ يَسْمُو عَلَى كُلِّ الْعَنَاوِينِ. With a bold script or bold writing, right? Yasmu, which rises above or is elevated above kullil anawini, above all headlines. And then she says, huruf ismi, huruf ismi, huruf ismi, like the repetition, the letters of my name, the letters of my name, the letters of my name. Tulahiqni, tu'ayishuni, tughadhini. And then she says that the letters of my name, they follow me, they live with me, and they nourish me. And yeah, this was one of the ways that I was able to channel my love of language and obviously, that love that I had for music into something that still sticks with me today, Arabic poetry. Now that you understand why I'm so passionate about this language, here's something that I want you to take away from this. If you're sitting with something that you can't seem to leave, maybe the question isn't how should I stop? Maybe you should be asking yourself, what do I actually gain from this? Because once you're honest about that, you can start looking for what meets the same need without costing you your akhirah, your hereafter. For me, the answer was sitting down with the Quran and actually understanding what I was reading. So if you're someone who's trying to connect with the Quran, but you still feel like you're reading words without feeling them or understanding, that's exactly the person that Markaz Shafi'ee was built for. The link to apply for our course is in the description below. We like to keep the cohort small deliberately because this isn't a course that you just buy and leave sitting in a tab. This is structured, this is deep, and there's real accountability built into it. So if you're serious about this, go apply. The link is right there. And if you're not ready yet, no problem. I put together a free course showing you how to understand Arabic grammar in 50 minutes. Click the video right here and I'll see you there. Assalamu alaikum.